Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of the Nexuscast. On this episode, we'll have Tempest.
Yo.
And Wisely.
What's up?
So...
I'm here too.
Oh yeah, Flarp's here too. Look at them. Look at that, hey. Flarp.
Flarp's like, usually here though.
Yeah, he's usual.
I still like to
we don't care about him anymore.
Okay, fine. We can still acknowledge you.
Yeah. Just for now. Not...
Alright.
We won't talk to you later after this.
Okay, that's fair.
So anyway... So Wisely is one of the lead of Downbeat, correct? You're
I'm like the co-founder of it. There's two of us. So Downbeat is a Minnesota-based. We kind of do everything now. It was a Minnesota-based TO group, but now we also do streaming and content creation and a bunch of different things. So I am our Melee and Project M head for that.
Yeah, and Wisely does a lot. Not only for that, but also he does Why My Man Is Sick and does a lot of stuff on Nexus. So he's doing good work here. And of course we have Tempest. Right, your roommate? Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Nice.
Me, not the
roommate. Tempest is here. He's back again.
But yeah, I do Why My Man Is Sick. I do commentary, I TO. I'm basically decent at most things other than actually playing the game.
Sounds about right.
Like, yeah, I think that's basically all of us, except for Flarp, for some reason.
Flarp's on the top.
Hey, I'm getting better, though.
For some reason, Flarp was blessed with the ability to throw fireballs and stuff.
Hey.
But anyway, let's get into our topics here. So first up is...
start from the top?
Yeah. We got Project M Showdown 7, because we didn't cover this last time.
Did we introduce Tempest?
Yeah, we did.
Kind of. Did we? We said my
We
name.
didn't say what he does. We just said, and it's Tempest.
They know what I do.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on here before.
Okay.
The Canadian guy.
That's fair. I forget that he's been on here, even though he's also one of the guests. Yeah.
Part of Permafrost and Canadian TO. Cool
Real
guy.
fans now.
Tank main.
Sorta. Yeah, mostly.
Quality.
Anyway, we're good.
Project M Showdown 7.
It was a tournament.
It was a tournament.
It was recently. As recently as 3 weeks ago? I think
it was the first big event at the New Xanadu, correct?
2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
At least for PM.
Well, yeah, I meant like first big PM event. Because they're also doing Pound this weekend, and that they had or are having Glitch.
It's this weekend? There is so many tournaments now. That sounds weird. That sounds like it's not.
I know Pound is this weekend because there was some players that had to deconfirm from Push More Buttons.
Oh, no.
It's
bad.
Okay.
Couldn't push enough buttons.
And yeah, it's fine.
Glitch already happened.
We would have had Junebug. It's okay.
Aw, that's unfortunate. But anyway.
Yes,
PMS.
So few things happened at Showdown. For those of you who don't know. I don't know how many people actually watched it, but Switch won against his fellow NJ players. DVD went all Marth, I believe, which was...
oh, really?
I think that was this tournament.
I don't think you went tank at all.
Much to my sadness, and no one was actually able to answer that question for me on the day of. I found that out today, that it was all Marth, in fact. I knew it was mostly Marth, but I was hoping deep down that there was some little cancerous, bulbous-headed child throwing things at that tournament. There wasn't.
One screaming bomb child.
Please.
Hey, I'm a fan of Tank, so, like, I would have been happy.
I would have been too, but Marth's pretty cool, so I'm not too bummed about it. But yeah, the rest of top 4 was Envy and Tech Boy. Notice to Tech Boy, well, the only person not from New York, New Jersey in that top 4.
No MDVA in that top 4 either.
Nope, but
they're never going to win their own event.
BP got 5th, so they're not too far behind.
Shouts to Good.
I feel like that's the PM thing, though, is to host a tournament and no one from in your region gets like top 8.
Oh yeah, you watch?
That
actually, that's
so
not
much.
True. I was gonna say Frozen Phoenix, but this year we actually like 5 of top 8.
You showed up, dude.
That wrong Gunshoot guy. That's
Shouts
right.
to Brad.
That dude.
Hi, Brad.
That dude that got fundraised to go to even bigger Balc. I'm excited to see him. Me too.
I donated money for that.
You're
so
sick.
did I.
Community pillar wisely, guys.
I gave $10 to someone to fly. Yeah.
Large pillar.
I donated money to Donkos.
Yo, that's also super hype. Shoutouts to like even bigger Balc crew for like all the things they're doing for this tournament.
Like, they're doing a lot of stuff. They're getting Kool-Aid.
They're so good
Kool-Aid
at putting together the craziest tournament of the year, basically. And it's like the 3rd year in a row they're doing it. And it gets better.
Crazy.
Like I saw that Kool-Aid stretch goal.
I think that's super funny.
I don't know if they hit it, but that's super fun.
I don't think they did, but it's a great idea.
Yeah,
sign up for Balc, even if it's over by now when this comes out. Just sign up.
So people can get Kool-Aid.
Okay, so all right, we have already gotten very distracted from
PMS7.
Yeah,
anyway,
that usually what happens.
As we were reading the results, you may have been wondering, wait a minute, it's an MDVA tournament. Where's Hyperflame? Well, he happened to get 9th at the tournament.
And you may say, 9th's still okay. He got outplaced by top players such as Godtouch, Altex, Lydia, Hondo, and
Wait, they all made top 8?
No, they outplaced. Sorry,
outplaced or tied.
And sorry, you're right. I just kind of saw Hyperflame and stopped looking at him. All right, he tied with Godtouch and Lydia, but he still got outplaced by Altex. So
to be fair, Godtouch beat Stereo Kid this year. Also,
he did.
So
Hondo beat
Hyperflame
this year, actually,
losing to or getting outplaced by. But I got the next topic up here. What's going on with Hyperflame right now?
Yeah, what's going on?
We got the 2 major tournaments he's been to this year. We Tech those 3 and PM Showdown 7. We Tech those 3. Oh, I should have checked if he went to pre-tech those. Well, it's too late. We Tech those 3. Lost to Ivane in winners round 1 of the bracket, which that's fair. Ivane's going crazy right now.
He's a broken character.
He's going nuts. Playing the number 2 character in the game.
That's right.
Then lost to Gallo and losers to get 25th. I mean, both these guys are really good, so it's not that bad.
But Hyperflame
is top 10. So that
those are super 10? Respectable losses.
Just not for a top 10 player.
Hyperflame.
Yeah. So, like, then we move on to PM.
Let's say,
hold on.
Flarp goes to this tournament and does that exact thing. He's going, I'm sick. I only lost to Ivane and Gallo. But if you're a top 10 player Hyperflame, you're kind of looking at this like, oof, I'm mid-level Hyperflame right now.
I'm like, not even Hyperflame, I'm like Super Flame.
Not quite.
One level.
He's at like Ultra Flame right now, but not quite there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Then, PM Showdown 7. Bad start. He lost to Hondo, the MDVA Fox main, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
you're right.
He plays Fox.
Round 1 again. Then lost to fellow compatriot, Bacon Pancakes, to get 9th. What's going on? What's happening? His best win this year is Resliv. Not saying Resliv is bad,
but that's it.
He might be.
Resliv beat XYZ.
Is that actually his best win this year?
Yeah, I checked. His best win is
He beat
Resliv.
Satoshi and Wilfred Brimley.
He hasn't beaten a single top 50 player this year.
Man,
I'm doing as well as Hyperflame. Let's go me.
He's off his hyper game, man.
These jokes.
He's looking hyper lame.
Yeah, these jokes can get hyper lame if we do too many of them.
I'm not trying to say. I believe.
Geez, okay, I knew that he was on a downswing, but I haven't looked at the stats like this.
Yeah. So this is interesting. And last podcast, we had Ema Killer, and he made a comparison between Hyperflame and Westballs.
Oh, no.
Where he said they're both the tech-heavy users of their character whose playstyles are getting outclassed by a new wave.
Actual neutral.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
When their character had
had
a defensive playstyle that was optimal the whole time.
So what we need is for him to continue being like Westballs, except for this month's Westballs.
Yes.
Well, I want to forget about Full Bloom 4 Westballs. Forget that happened.
Westballs isn't worse.
Flatiron Westballs is what I meant to say. Lost to Commaster.
Luigi?
You got the Luigi stats. Flarp knows.
That's right.
I know what every Luigi's doing.
But I also think another reason is he got a girlfriend pretty recently. I think at the start of this year. I think I was talking to Good about it. And he was like, I haven't seen Hyperflame in like a month. It's like, oh. That explains a lot.
The real life nerf.
Yeah, it really is.
Real life's actually
that's probably a life buff, just a Smash nerf.
Yeah, Smash. I mean, what if Smash is your life? Like, then it's a life nerf.
Yeah, dude, that's a big debuff.
Hey, it works for some people.
It does.
I feel like
my girlfriend.
You have two types of players: the one that gets a girlfriend and that is way better at the game, or the one that gets a girlfriend and gets way worse. I don't know many who stay in between.
That would be me. Because I was bad and I'm still bad.
Congratulations.
That's right.
I relate to that.
Won.
In both states of being single and not single, I am bad.
Actually, no, that's where I've been too.
And now, welcome to the podcast of mediocrity.
All right.
It's okay.
I'm number 45 in the world.
You're right. I'm sorry.
So back to Hyperflame, though.
That's kind of all there is, because those are the only two major tournaments he's been to this year.
But do we know that he's going to anything big coming up? Like, where's his next chance to prove himself?
He's not
Push More Buttons.
He's not going to Push More Buttons.
No, he couldn't make it to that one.
He's going to EBB?
Is he?
Is that too many Bs?
No, that's enough Bs.
That's the right amount of Bs.
Not
not too many Bs.
Right now.
I think he's going to even bigger Balc.
Yes.
He couldn't make Push More Buttons because he has finals.
I'm checking Smash and Splash right now.
Okay. Yeah, check Smash and Splash.
Smash and Splash is pretty big.
Because I think that's something to pay attention to at those tournaments. That is, how is he doing?
Now my
he's
question
going to
is,
Smash Slash.
Okay, sick, cool.
How are the TOs going to be seeding him now?
Ooh,
that's really hard to deal with. Like, especially as someone who has had to try and seed like top players, especially coming into a region like Canada where most of our players have never played against any of the good American players. You're kind of like, oh well, Solarius got 5th last year, so is he still about as good, or do I just kind of go yeah? And then same with like XYK, like he's top 50 2 years in a row. But he came to FP last time and lost to our Kirby. Shoutouts to Pith. And then he came back and I was like, well, he's probably not going to do that again. But then, lo and behold, he got 3-stocked by our Bowser Sharon.
Jeez.
Shout out to Sharon.
Yeah. So it's hard. I don't envy TOs for way larger tournaments like Smash and Splash and even bigger Balc.
And I feel like it's even harder for PM because matchups mean so much more, and there's character inexperience, and there's so much stuff that just happens.
Then there's like the whole like, there's not a whole lot of crossover between sometimes 50% of like the top 50, right? Like some players you'll see them at only events that are hosted within their region, and then you got guys like Thunders previously, and then Sosa and Switch who are kind of like at everything, right?
Yeah.
So like for someone like Marshall who pretty much didn't go to anything last year, that's kind of like, now we're looking at him at like Push More Buttons per se, and we're kind of going, well, how's he gonna do at that, right?
Yeah, no, it's hard. I am looking at a group chat right now trying to figure out the seeding for Push More Buttons, and we have like
hard.
The top 24 seeds, but we do not know the order yet.
Oh no, yeah. Like, the only thing that's ever really easy is when you get, like, some top 10 players, and you're like, I'll just put, like, I got Thunders. I'll put Thunders first. Wow, that was really hard. But then you get to, like, seed 20, and you're like,
Seed 20 could be, like, 50 people.
Yeah. It's like,
could be anybody.
Don't know. Is seed 20
be you.
AO Blitz?
Could be me.
Or is it some guy from Quebec or something, right? I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to TOs for having to deal with that.
I didn't make that place up. Where Poutine came from?
We believe you. We believe that you didn't invent Canada.
I don't know. Some people don't believe me. I don't say
I've yet to see it in person, so I'm not sure it's really there.
You're right. Unfortunately, I have been to Massachusetts, so I do know it exists. I can't pretend it's a magically made-up place.
All right, well, as long as we're talking about seeding, next up on our list is Envy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So last year, Envy kind of dropped off a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, from
dropped
14
off
to
that
31st.
He also switched characters a ton.
He was having a bit of a character crisis. Switched to Diddy Kong. Lost to Bees, the Olmar player.
Shout out to Bees.
My boy.
Bees
and then switched to like Wario and was doing good with Wario.
There was a Samus in there for a little bit too.
Slamus is not gone.
There was a Samus? Jesus.
The Slamus.
I didn't know about that. But now he's back to Ike and he's doing pretty well for himself.
See, that's what happens when you stick to your character. You do better.
Yeah, dude.
That's not what happened.
Theoretically, that's what happens when you switch to 4 different characters and then come back.
Or, yeah, go on a life journey.
So I got the stats, boys.
Let's do it. So how did he do at PMS specifically? And then we'll run through his
third place.
So here we go. There. He did get
I have
third.
it written down here.
He beat
Project M Showdown 7. It says gets a free ride to winter semis because Hyperflame lost to Hondo. Not saying Hondo is a free win. I didn't mean that.
Yes, he is. What?
No.
I didn't say that.
I mean, he beat Hyperflame. He's gotta be good.
Yeah, the potential is there.
Loses to DVDs in winter semis. No DVD was playing Marth, so that's still good. Then he beats Bacon Pancakes, beats Tech Boy, which is the second time he did that this year.
I forgot Tech Boy went to that. Okay.
Yeah, and then he got the run back on DVD and won. Then lost the Switch in Grand Finals to get second place.
Okay,
that's a good run.
So that's looking pretty dang good.
And DVD gets third at a big tournament once again.
I mean, you get...
Yeah.
If you can say that you have wins over Bacon Pancakes, Tech Boy, and DVD, you've got a good tournament under your belt.
Yeah. It's a good run.
But that's not all, my friends.
That isn't. Okay.
We got the pre-We Tech Those 3, also known as the pre-Tech Those 3. He's got the win over Dirt Boy, Tech Boy. That was the first one.
So he beat the boys.
Then
All the boys.
Ivane, I don't know.
Ivane, yeah.
2 times in Grand Finals. No, Winners Finals and Grand Finals to win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, whoa. Envy's good again, home.
Whoa.
But then We Tech Those 3 happened. I prefer not to talk about that. But
I wonder.
So the person he just beat twice, he then loses to right away.
Yeah, lost to Ivane in pools, then loses to GP, who, if you didn't know what that stands for Ghetto Pussy, in loses round 1. Gets 49th place. So that's sort of a stain on the resume right now.
Is GP going... Is he all ZSS now? I know he was Fox for a long time.
I think he's all ZSS.
Mostly,
okay.
Formerly Fox main. Switched to Zero Suit Samus.
He did.
And it seems to be working out.
Yep.
Hashtag GP for top 50. Anyway.
I'll pass. I gotta see it.
Just spitballing here. So Resting Sticks Face, the New York, New Jersey regional before...
it was the week before PMS. Wasn't it?
It was also before Flex Zone, I think.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of, not PMS. Okay.
Oh, God, did he go to Flex Zone? Oh, I should have checked. Oh, whatever. So he lost to Malachi in Winners Round 1. Bad bracket luck, I guess. Then beat Twisty in Losers 8th and lost to Sosa in Losers Quarters to get 5th place out of like 57 something.
Not bad.
So far, Envy looking like he's back in the top 15 spot. At least top 20.
Top 20 at least, yeah. Could see it.
I can rock with top 20.
Yeah.
Got a top 10
win. He
win.
did go to Flex Zone,
technically
but
2,
he got
but
13th.
Actually 3.
Say that again?
He did go to Flex Zone, but he got 13th. He lost to Dirt Boy and Fuzz.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's respectable.
Which is pretty good. But he didn't beat anyone either.
Dirt Boy is like 20 and Fuzz is top 10.
He could have gotten a top 50 win if someone by the name of Flarp wasn't DQ'd in his pool.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
Poor Flarp.
But yeah, other than that, kind of a underwhelming performance in terms of like victories, but
also
according to the PM rank, he did not lose to anyone he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So, decent event still.
Not bad.
So, look out for Envy now. He's not a wiener anymore.
That's right.
And his GoFundMe for even bigger Balc just got reached, I think.
Sick.
Let's get it.
So he's going to be there. Look forward to it.
He's going to swing his big old sword around.
That is what Ikes do. They like to swing that sword.
You would know, Mr. Canadian.
Yeah,
5 Ikes.
I would. There's a bunch of them here. Used to be more, but they've kind of migrated a little bit.
The Great Ike Migration.
Is Ike
they fly south for the winter.
Colorado has a lot of Ikes too. That's mostly what.
Yeah, they flew south for the winter. Now they're all over there.
Colorado's a bad place to go.
They're coming back soon.
Like the geese.
Oh god, not the geese. Not this again.
God, I hate geese.
No one likes geese.
There's a flock of geese that live outside my house now. They wake me up too early.
They're weird bighorn sounds.
They sound like donkeys. Yeah. They're flying donkeys.
Probably accurate.
So that is Envy's history.
Yeah, Envy's back, baby. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. He's got more.
Probably.
There's still more than half of a year left, but looking good for our boy.
Yeah.
Still got the Summer Smash to go through.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up soon.
Please let Blacklisted 4 be announced.
Yeah. When? And
Geo, Supernova
come
2.
on.
Get on that.
Any New England tournaments to go to?
Supernova is perpetually in a state of not being announced. Because they can't find a venue that they can reasonably afford in New York City. And because it's New York City, it will not happen.
That's rough.
Yeah, apparently they've been trying to find it for like 6 months now, and I feel their pain on that one.
That's awful.
I'm going to get kicked off the PM rank.
But they're going to find a venue someday, and there'll be a magical announcement.
Can't wait.
All right, well, speaking of PMS Showdown, we should mention, for people who haven't looked at the bracket, Gimmer, Coney, and Pink Fresh were all entered.
Dope.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So the Lucas guy.
Coney been engaging in some PM action. He was on the last podcast, and then he was entered into this tourney, and he played.
And he didn't do bad.
Pretty good.
He made it to bracket.
Pretty good.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wario still?
Yeah.
I don't know who else he would play.
Yeah, he only plays Wario.
Okay.
Pink Fresh actually did pretty well too.
Gimmer did not fare quite as well.
He went 0-2.
No. Pink Fresh placed 17th. Actually, he placed 13th, but because Jew Change got DQ'd.
I would say, did he get any good wins out of that?
He beat Ferrari, who's a PR'd in Philly, I believe.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I used to live in Philly, and I just don't... Okay, whatever.
He's a Diddy, I'm pretty sure.
He must be new. Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of
paid attention since I moved.
7th or something. He posts stuff on Reddit
can make sense.
pretty occasionally. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know him.
Yeah, he did pretty good comparatively. Like he tied with some of the current
who hasn't
PR.
Played the game in a few years now.
Yeah, it's been a while. He outplays Woody.
I think like my biggest takeaway for that is I'm just glad they entered.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I shouldn't be like, oh, did Pink Fresh do well or whatever? Like, it doesn't matter. If you beat Pink Fresh in this day and age, it's not like, oh man, you got a sick win, but it still means a lot that, you know what, if there's a big tournament going on and it's close by to them, they're still going to play. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm glad to see him enter, even if, you know, Gimmer went 0-2. That's why he killed PM.
Right. Poor Gimmer. Shoutouts to Jet Fantastic for that great reskin of Gimmer's video today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
That was an adventure.
That video was already great on its own. And just took it that one step further.
Hey, PM's been in the limelight, eh? We've got a bunch of old school players entering PM. They showed out PM at the summit recently, for those who haven't seen the History of Smash video.
And they found the last PM
That was a good video.
That was a really great video.
Yeah.
That was top 10, top 5 summit skits I can talk.
For sure.
Don't worry.
But
so that's about it.
Okay.
For Project M Showdown.
Speaking of videos,
whoa!
Even bigger about video scholarship happened over the past few weeks.
It was interesting.
I am so glad I didn't enter this.
Yeah, you were gonna enter.
I was going to, and then I got bodied by like a bunch of life stuff going on, and I was like, I'm just gonna make my video eventually, anyways. And then crap went down. And I'm guessing that's what we're going to talk about.
Life with the Smash Nerf again.
I don't know much about the scholarship thing because I wasn't following it.
I followed it.
Yeah, I got you covered.
So Moto's going to give us the down low on this one.
I was wrapped up in it. By golly.
The details.
So it started out pretty good. It was like, you know what? It's like beginning, middle of March. They're just like, hey, if you want to go to even bigger Balc, make a mini documentary about a player, and we might fly you out if you win. It's like, great. Promoting content, getting someone out that's a good content creator. Cool. Mm-hmm. But then we found out the voting system after the 7 entrants of Bird Zulu, myself, Echo, Duper Soup, Chibo, LPEG, and Juice make our videos. We find out voting's happened on Twitter.
Oof.
Now,
which I have varying opinions on that. Obviously, it sucked because it was on Twitter. But also, PM sucks at being on Twitter, and I literally saw more I saw more people talking about PM on Twitter that week than any other week.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of
we just need to be on Twitter more, anyways. It Twitter's just sucked that voting was on it.
Yeah, it definitely could have been done better. I'm not an organizer of that kind of stuff, but it was not optimal.
And it wasn't through voting on Twitter; it was voting via retweets.
Well, yeah. So
which promotes people who already have strong Twitter backgrounds.
Pretty much. And then, it's not even that counts either. Because, you had to get retweeted, but then you had to win a Facebook Bowl, too, so.
Yeah, we'll get to the Facebook Bowl in a minute.
That's a beast of its own.
Just at the tip of the iceberg.
Basically, every day there was a video, and they had 24 hours to get as many retweets as they could. And that system in itself is flawed, because the people that go later are going to have more exposure. Me, I went second to last. Echo went first, and really Echo should have been in the final voting, but we'll get to in a minute. But he only got 54 by the time his period was up, and I got 78. So it's just really backwards in a lot of ways.
For the record, I retweeted Motos, so I'm part of the problem.
I retweeted Echoes and Motos, but I'm not.
I retweeted a few. I don't remember whose. I think Motos.
I retweeted all of them except for Birds.
Oh, what? Bird's the best Ganondorf player in the world.
Does he play
Have you seen The Clencher? I don't think you have.
I'm also going to admit I haven't even watched all the videos yet. I'm sorry.
They're pretty good. But
Bird took a game off me at Supernova.
Which one was the one made about making pancakes?
That was Juice's video.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it was a good video. That also didn't make it to final voting. So the final voting was me, Bird Zulu, and LPEG, who made the Bubbles video.
But
Moto, who did you make yours on again?
Saber.
Oh, yeah.
Saber.
The story of Saber.
And then Bird Zulu made the Young Bad video. But basically, a big controversy here. Chibo got 155 retweets.
Yes.
So technically he would have been number 1. But then the Balcony was like, we're going to filter out bots from the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And they filtered out too many, I guess.
Yeah, they filtered out real people too.
Yeah. Real people that just had accounts for contest retweets. Because he ran a contest, which was that's why there were so many of those type of accounts. Because he gave away a shirt with it.
Yeah.
So, because he was doing that, he got a lot more voters than just PM people.
Which is fair, I think.
It's fair.
It shows what's wrong with the system, I think.
Yeah, from an outside perspective, when I saw that, especially because I knew that wasn't the final voting, I was like, oh, if this is what it is, at the very least, there are more people who will see that a video has been made. Because to vote in his retweet thing, you still had to see the video. And so anything that gets more eyes on PM things, I usually think is good. If that was the way voting was finally decided, I wouldn't have been okay with it. But the fact that determined who made top 4, I'm cool with that.
I think so.
Yeah,
I do think that
it was within the rules. There wasn't anything against that.
Especially
it was fine
in the Twitter sphere, right? Like Wisely was saying, we need to work on that. So anything that's getting PM pretty much tossed as far as it can throughout Twitter, that's cool. We're good with that.
Yep.
And that was another benefit of the contest. It just got more people to see PM. It's like that. It had really good intentions, but
it did. A lot of people got mad at Chivo for a lot of different reasons, mainly just because they felt like he was using his previous Smash background since he has CT and he has everything else. But when the thing says...
Right? He got it for a reason.
I think a lot of people also misunderstood, though. They thought that he was like winning because of it, not just he was making the final voting.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of the issue with this whole like process of shifting social media platforms throughout the vote and like releasing things periodically. It was kind of like a lot of things got lost in translation in terms of the voting process. Like, I only really was able to figure out what was going on because I had close contact with 3 or 4 people in the contest. So I kind of like, they were telling me what I had to do and what they needed to like move on in the contest.
Yeah.
But then people like who maybe saw 2 or 3 videos because they got posted to Reddit, they probably had little to no idea how this was working unless someone told them.
Yeah, you could watch the video on Reddit, upvote it, comment on it, and it would not have counted at all.
It didn't do anything. Except, well, it did. That's a lie. Like, obviously, the exposure for the video itself is something, but in terms of the contest...
It wouldn't have counted for the contest, yeah. I think retweets also tend to promote... And this is just an issue with social media in general. Anything that is like focusing on retweets or like quick likes, things like that, promote easily digestible content. And so something that's like funny or short or like memes or that kind of thing is going to bubble up to the top. As far as just natural retweets, obviously giveaways throw a whole other wrench into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just venting now.
No, yeah, I think like, I don't know. I'll get more into Twitter like after. I think that's a good topic to kind of stay on after, but we should probably keep going with this contest, right? Because the contest did end. There was a winner eventually.
Yeah, so it went on to Facebook for round 2, the final round. Chibo got in. Well, it was originally a 3-person poll between me, Bird, and LPAG.
Yep.
And then Chibo was like, "Where's my video?" And I think the gist with it was like they didn't count enough people as being actual people, which they should have. But they weren't going to push out LPAG because of that, so they just made a new poll with all 4 of us the next day.
Yeah.
And throughout that poll, me and Bird were close for a while. It was back and forth, but then he kind of took a lead. And then at the very end, Chivo's people started like going over to mine.
Yeah.
Because he was at like 30-something votes.
I didn't notice that.
They were just like, let's try to help Moto. But it was too late at that point.
You can switch. It's not like you vote and you're done.
Yeah. It's okay.
Like it was like the last like 20 minutes that they started switching over. Like it could have had more effect if they started later, but they did not. There was only like 10 people that ended up switching, so it wasn't enough to pull me out as a victor. And the victor was Bird Thulu.
Yes, it was.
Who made the Young Bad video.
People have heard me in the next say how I feel about that video. I think the production value was obviously very good, but it did not, to me, deliver a storyline very well. It felt very kind of like overly memey, and no offense to young Matt, he's a super nice guy, but that's kind of all he is on camera. He's just a really nice guy. But then he was also kind of acting the part of the meme he was playing, so it just kind of felt like this thing was being forced down my throat, and I didn't really like that. Like Chibo's was really good because I kind of knew who Woody was at the end of it, whereas like
Chibo's was Matt, it was like, the story behind.
I don't really know who young Matt is other than I'm the A reverse guy.
Yeah,
I was supposed to win an Arcadian.
Tell the story, like you said, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, like I don't want people to listen to this and think like, oh, Nexus hated all the other videos. I'm super glad a lot of content was created, and I'm really glad that this contest was run because I'm glad a lot of content was created. It's just...
I can say I like every video.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had different opinions of who I thought deserved to get the flight. Right?
Yeah, it's less of the videos that were made and more of how everything was decided. And that's fine.
Yeah, the process was a little funky. I think... there was obviously a lot of bumps, like we said, with the botting with Chibo, and then kind of Twitter, and then the communication of the information for how to vote was kind of but like everything got ironed out, and I think the end result was definitely fair after everything was said and done. So,
well,
like mostly.
There's one case where I don't think it was fair. Echo went first. I think personally he had the best video. It's technically the only video that fit the rules because they said 2 to 10 minutes, and he was the only one under 10 minutes. But
oh, really? I never saw the 2 to 10 minutes thing.
Wasn't Bacon Pancakes under 10 minutes? I don't know. I feel like there was a few under 10.
No,
maybe
they were
just
all
that good.
10 or over. Yeah, but
know.
anyway.
I watched every single one.
I think Echo should have made it. I think, in my opinion, his was the best video, but he just got screwed over by having to go first and not having the Twitter following that other people did. And it.
Echo has a surprisingly low Twitter following compared to the content he puts out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll be the first to admit I didn't really know who Echo was until I started paying attention to PM Nexus. So
follow Echo Storm SSB on Twitter, by the way.
Yes.
His stuff is so
Flavors
good.
of Falco.
I think Flavors of Fox is his best, but they're both so good.
They're both really cool concepts.
All of the content is really good.
He's making the video where I see it and I'm like, why didn't I do that?
I should have done that.
Shit.
Yeah, PM,
and that's the kind of that's definitely a good thing.
Community with a lot of really good content creators that don't get enough recognition for what they do, and I think that's why this this contest was kind of done to get the exposure.
Yeah, no, that was why they said, yeah.
And it just was kind of, I don't know, there wasn't enough clear communication. I think that's what it really comes down to.
And the voting system didn't really promote like whose video was the best. It promoted more like who has the most social presence out of these people.
Which is unfortunate because like obviously the retweets are good. Like there is definitely going to be some people that will see it that don't normally consume PM content. But you also have to think that a lot of the retweets these people are getting are from people who are already within the PM community, and Twitter is kind of easy to get stuck in your little echo chamber too. So like we're not really sure at the end of the day how much it did expose it to some more people, but I mean Chibo got 155 retweets, and I hope all those people watched that video when they retweeted it. So with
hopefully
7 videos being retweeted at least 50 times, I think. I don't know, maybe I think
that's cool.
Paper Soup might have been under 50. But
50 is huge for PM content specifically.
Twitter's hard.
I've gotten like more retweets than that, but not for anything in PM.
Yeah, I started trying to use my Twitter recently, and it's just really hard to make a name for yourself if you're not a top player or like a celebrity, because you have to convince people that your tweets are like worth their time. So all of my biggest tweets are just me like responding to Hungry Box or something.
Yeah.
Like
follow Tempest on Twitter.
I think my biggest tweet for a long time my biggest tweet was like a random thing that I had responded to Anti. It's the same idea. Nice. Like I didn't actually do anything. I just told Anti to come to a PM thing because he tweeted about PM.
Yeah, I responded to some thread. It was like, oh yeah, I think it was Toph talking about Ninja or somebody who like said like the N-word on stream. And then I just kind of said, as a PM player, I never say Nintendo when I'm on stream. And that got like 300 retweets.
I did not see that. Okay.
That was good. I like that one.
That's the kind of stuff that I like a lot of people end up seeing, right? So PM, we definitely need to step up our game as like social media presence. Obviously, Apollo Alley's got a bunch of Twitter followers, but he also works for BuzzFeed and has a podcast, so...
Oh, yeah. No,
I think he's got like...
When your Facebook account is verified, you know, like, you've got a lot of people following you.
Yeah, you're in. You got it.
No, I think it's sad. I don't have that many Twitter followers. I'm like, I think under 500. But I still have more than like many even top 10 PM players. And it's because I do interviews and because I do content, like commentary, and I make content and I like do a lot of different things. But I think it's also because I do a lot of different things in multiple games. I do them in Melee, I do them in Rivals, I play Icons, stuff like that. it's just so hard to break through in PM, and we need PM on board to do that.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's hard. You have to develop a personality, right? And sometimes your personality isn't wild enough. So you kind of have to maybe accentuate the more marketable characteristics you have, right? So like for me, I don't know, I make stupid jokes and like puns, so that's kind of all I do on Twitter, because people like stupid jokes, as it turns out, because they can read them really fast and have a quick laugh and then go to the next one, right? So it's rough, because I feel for the people who actually put in lots of time, like you do, and like Moto did with his video, and like Nexus in general does. They put in so much love into their content, but because it's not, you can't watch it in 30 seconds, a lot of people tend to go, maybe later, and then that's
and
it.
Later never happens.
Yeah. That's actually kind of why I started doing both. Like, I kind of did start as like a meme channel, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make actual content, so I started kind of doing both.
Yeah, no, social media is always this weird, like, half you're trying to put genuine good information or genuinely good, like, thoughts or content or whatever it is, and then half, like, blatant self-promotion layered in a, like...
Oh, yeah, that's been, like,
the
big thing.
Blanketed in, like, a joke.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of time, like, my friends have been talking about, someone's tweet will go viral, and then the first response to their tweet is them saying, hey, guys, follow my SoundCloud. And it's
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, the PM version of that could be like, hey, guys, check out my combo video.
Yeah, for sure.
Check out my commentary reel.
Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Motobug.
That's right.
I mean, you should do that anyways.
Yeah, that's
Check
true.
out my Brawl Vault account.
Yo, I will.
God.
I'll do it.
My Always Brawl.
Ooh. Is that even up?
I think it like went down a
I think
bit ago.
Unfortunate.
That is.
Smash Mods went down too, or some part of it did.
What did?
Smash Mods, where PM used to be hosted. Yeah, way back.
But now we got mod.pm.
There's been a few sites we've tried to, like, wasn't there like PM TV or .underground or whatever?
Yes.
Those were more organizations, I think. They had a website too, but yeah.
I don't know. I was excited for both of those, and I don't know what happened. I hope something's
They just kind of didn't do anything after a while.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the reasons that we started Nexus.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that we chose very specific people to be like the core group of starting Nexus was we don't want to go the same way as PMTV or PM Underground.
Yeah, that's the best thing about PM Nexus so far has been the consistency of, like, there is work being done and there is work being completed and work being shown. Yep. Like, everything is kind of, it's not maybe as, like, I don't know, organized as you'd think it would be, but, like, there's very, like, as an outside viewer, it's really hard to tell, like, that there's nothing, I don't know where I'm trying to make this sound right, but, like,
that there's 30 people running around.
Everything looks professional still, which is
it's like that one episode of SpongeBob where you see SpongeBob on the outside and then you go inside his brain and it's like fires everywhere and they're running around trying to
that's kind of what the beauty of content creation is, right? Is like all these things can happen behind the closed door where no one sees, like, that maybe you ran into 18 problems or maybe life like started kicking your butt at one point, because at the end of the day, once that video gets released, all people are going to be looking at is what your video had in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the final product.
I mean, that's why I haven't done a Why My Main is Sick in a while, is because life's kicking my butt, but the final product for all the other ones is great and I'm okay with that. Yeah.
And then we've even got the small 5-minute main videos too, which are super cool.
We have more of those that are coming out.
Yeah, make sure you guys pay attention to that. Like, they're definitely a lot of content put into that 5 minutes.
Subscribe to this channel, trademark.
Yeah.
The one that you're already listening to right now.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I think we've gotten a little off topic.
Yeah,
we've gotten to blatant self-promotion.
Gotta move on to the main event of this weekend.
Yeah,
it's this weekend.
Push more buttons 2018.
Yes.
Gonna push those buttons.
Oh yeah.
Who's helping? Who's running
button.
that? I don't know.
I am running that. Hi.
Whoa. Wisely.
Nice,
That's just a coincidence we had you on this episode.
Who would have guessed? I thought you were just here.
Yeah, so Push More Buttons 2018 is a huge Minnesota regional. But PM Edit occupies this weird spot, like, between regional and major and everything else. And it did last time, too. So this isn't quite annual. Last Push More Buttons was in 2016. At that one, PM hit 88 entrants, but still had Sosa, IPK, Cephalon, Soth, Marshall, when he was still PM rank. Like, a bunch of really, really good players were all there. And then I started getting a lot of notice right away about, like, when's the next one? And it couldn't happen. The next one is finally here. It's Push More Buttons 2018. Registration closed for this last night.
Well, it'll be a few nights ago when it comes out. But
yes, last night, if you're listening to this while we are recording.
Somehow.
Yeah. So we currently have our top 24 seeds figured out. There will be day of registration, and so numbers will go up. But unless you are a monster who's showing up and we don't know about it, which in that case, I don't think anybody would be. I don't know who even could. We're in the middle of Minnesota. But you'll be slotted into like lower spots of pools because we're not seeding people who didn't pre-reg. But the top 24 seeds right now, like we have 4 top 10 players. So that's Sosa, Fuzz, Switch, Soth. Kais is falling quickly behind. He's 12th. Then it starts dropping. We got Dirtboy, who's top 20. And then it just gets dumb.
Yeah.
After Dirtboy, there's like a crazy mix of like people who are number 1 through 5 in their respective state.
Mostly Midwest.
Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, some Kansas. It gets super messy.
It's a TO's nightmare.
Yeah, and so like if you look at this has already changed, but like we have the number 1 in Minnesota, the number 1 in Wisconsin, the number 1 in Illinois, but we also have other people from them, and so you get like Absent Page, who is currently making huge names. People are now saying, is he a top 30 member of Melee? But he also plays PM in state.
He's definitely top 30.
Occupies a really weird spot on our PR, which is he beats everyone here, but he doesn't do great out of state because he only knows the matchups he plays.
Yeah.
That being said, he can figure stuff out really quickly. There's Marshall, who used to be PM ranked and is currently on a downward trend. Good friend of mine. I'm obviously hoping he does better, but he's had some questionable losses recently.
But you
Dexter,
can catch him on Twitch playing Fortnite.
Yes, he does a lot of Fortnite.
He's pretty good at it.
We got Dexter, who until Absent Page kind of just became this undestroyable monster.
I remember.
Dexter was our number 1. He's beaten top 50 players. He's beaten XYK. He's beaten, I think, Dirtboy. He's been
pretty inactive lately, but he's still good.
Very inactive lately. Even when he was active, he literally never goes out of state. I think the furthest out of state I've seen him go is Nebraska.
He's one of those like legitimate hidden bosses in PM because of kind of where he's located, but he's definitely a very good player.
Oh, he's super good. At the last PMB, a bunch of SoCal was like shocked they had never heard of him until I was like, guys, he's not been outside of Minnesota since Smash and Splash. And then the time before that was the last Smash and Splash. But he's a super good Meta Knight. We've got DFC, or Drug Free Chew, number 1 in Illinois. Bobby Frizz is playing, so now we have 2 SSBM ranked Foxes who also play in PM.
Bobby Frizz, he actually has a top 50 win last year.
Yep.
In PM. In Morks at Smash and Splash 3.
Yes, he did. Right. But he also got force talked by JJ.
I feel like he had other good wins.
He does. He's also beaten Lucky in PM.
Oh, yeah.
There was a tournament where he lost to Lucky in Melee and beat Lucky in PM. We've got Connor, we've got Ripple, Unspecial is another Kansas, C#, Arsenals is going to be here. So we got another Fox. He's probably the best solo Fox.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm going to say best solo Fox.
Is God Touch solo?
Yeah, but that's hard. They both have top 50 wins, but
and they tied at PMS.
Exactly. So. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, like obviously Silver's better, but Silver isn't solo.
Yeah, he does a bunch.
But then we just got like a bunch of people who are top players in their state. When you have people who are like at a regional, who are not seeded to make top 24, but are like fourth on their state's PR, it's weird. That's not what you expect for a regional. And so we have a top 24 seeds. I would see about half of this not being correct by the time the tournament happens. It's going to be just tons of upsets. It's going to be nuts.
I feel like Connor is going to do really well. I see a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, his Roy is
he's seeded lower right now, but I think out of any of the Minnesota guys, I see Connor having the highest chance of making some upsets. He beat Wild recently. So he's finally traveling. He's going to both Smash and Splash and Low Tier City this year, so like keep an eye out for him.
The next best Roy.
After
it's
Yono?
Just what?
Is it after Yono?
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Well, Yono would be the best if he had enough time to prepare for these new stages.
That's right.
Okay.
If he hadn't retired.
But yeah, no, this is just going to be one of those tournaments where, like, the top... I mean, I can't even say top 8. The top 6 are pretty solid.
Yeah.
As far as, like, I don't expect a ton of upsets there. Maybe Dirt Boy would be with, like, Marshall or Absent Page or DFC. Like, but after that, it just gets ridiculous. This could be in any order. This is the TO's nightmare, the spectator's delight.
Yep. That's kind of what Frozen Phoenix was for me, because I don't think Run Gunshoe was seeded for top 8 less than second place. But look what happened, so yeah.
Shout out to Brad again.
Yeah, dude, that tournament was nuts for a lot of reasons. Like, I think I got into it last time. My pool had almost half of top 8 in it, and was one controversy away from having half of top 6 in it. So
feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
Tournaments are hard.
Yeah,
especially
tournaments are hard.
It's just nuts.
I mean, outside of PM at Push More Buttons, all the other games are looking ridiculous too. Melee has, I think. What?
I said for some reasons, like, so for different reasons for each game.
Yeah. No, Melee has. Who do we have coming in for that? Out of like
Sparks,
ranked people, we have Absent Page, Kage, Squid, Spark, and Bobby Frizz.
Again.
Yep, Bobby Frizz again, and Absent Page again. Wii U has several top 50 players, as well as like just a bunch of monsters from local. It's going to be a super, super fun weekend. It's a 2-day tournament. If you're trying to tune in, PM will be streamed on Shinecore. They're the guys who do Smash and Splash as well.
Love them.
As well as the Ashit locals.
Yeah, they're great guys.
They do the Ashit locals. I have not finished doing the commentary team, but considering it's like the commentary is going to be super good for PM. I mean, that's all I can say. I'm really, really happy with the people that have applied for it. Because you've got like the mix of like top players like Switch and Arsenals and different people who are going to, as well as people who know the region really well, where you've got, Connor, and you've got some of the Michigan guys and stuff like that. It's going to be really good.
Now, one question. I did look at the reg numbers. I noticed Smash 64 had an unfortunate turnout.
Four entrants.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Is there any reason for
5.
that?
What?
Is there like another tournament happening that weekend, or?
So it turns out that Wisconsin is having their monthly that weekend.
Oh, okay.
They're 64 monthly,
Yeah.
But the weird thing about that is usually we have about 15 to 20 people at our monthlies for 64 in just Minnesota. And I have honestly no idea why they're not registering.
I don't know.
That's tough.
Yeah, that one was weird. There is at-the-door registration for this. It's emergency registration, so like it won't affect seating. Last Push More Buttons had 120 people show up at the door.
Wow, that's a lot.
And so we went from having a like 200-ish person tournament to having a 300. We hit 333 last time.
That is really crazy. You guys,
it's like a third of the tournament.
Pulled that off.
Yeah.
At the door. Wow.
We were pushing pre-registration harder this time. Let me check the doc to see what we're at.
59 for PM, right? I believe.
Well, let me double check everything. I thought we were at 60.
Checked, it was 59 for PM singles and
so we're at 232 for total, and PM singles were at 59. But with at the door registration, I think we can beat last year's.
The potential is there.
The potential is definitely, not last year's, 2 years ago. The potential is there. Either way, this one is way more stacked and like a bigger deal anyways, even if it's smaller.
That's totally yeah, like that was like Frozen Phoenix. Like, I'm sorry I keep doing this parallel, but this
no,
is just
problem.
Like my experience. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Frozen Phoenix was, I think, 30 to 40 entrants smaller than the one previous, but we had way more talent at this one.
Exactly. Yep. No, that's almost the exact same story here. If we stay at 60, it'll be 28 people fewer, but way more people from, like, we didn't have the top talent coming in from Illinois last time. We didn't have, other than Marshall, we only had like one other person from Wisconsin. We didn't have, it was like people that we flew in and then a couple people from each state and then all of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's more stacked this time than it was.
I mean, to be honest, PM as a whole is smaller in state right now than it was at that time. But because people remember how good the last Push More Buttons was for PM specifically, I've been getting just random messages from people who are saying, like, I'm looking to come into Push More Buttons from, Texas now that Arsenals is coming. It's one of those things where I think if this year goes well, and I have every reason to expect it to, the next Push More Buttons will be nuts.
That's always the hope, right?
Yep. As long as we get, I'd have to double check. I need to remember what Kings of the North 4 was at. And that was like 3 years ago. But if we beat that, which we are very close to, if we get the 100 at the door again, it'll be the largest regional in the Midwest history.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's just, then where do you go from there? Because
you just hope you get bigger, right?
Yeah, where you just hope you get bigger, and eventually you're like, oh crap, we accidentally have a major, or like whatever is going on. Because it goes from Frozen Phoenix, you've messed me up. It's Kings of the North 4 was at like 370. And if we get the same amount of at the door as last time, we'll blow past that. It was at like 370, and now then you immediately jump to like Smash and Splash. Like the first one, as the next event of that size in our region. Yeah.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just
Push More Buttons.
We don't kind of spaced out
there.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is one of those things that, based on how this year goes, I could see the next Push More Buttons actually just being enormous.
Yeah, I think. As someone who obviously, like I said, experienced the decline in entrance, but the upgrade in talent, kind of experienced that. I think it's good to expect that, but as a TO team, if it doesn't meet that expectation, nothing will stop you guys from running an amazing event regardless, right?
Exactly. So, no, we're not like distraught if we don't hit certain numbers or anything.
Which I think,
that.
I don't know. Some people are quick to see a tournament series that they've seen get bigger numbers before, have smaller numbers, and they go, maybe it's not as good anymore. That's definitely not the case. Both of us as TOs can tell you that sometimes people are busy and sometimes there's other things happening around the country, right? But
we're trying to have we'll be trying to get later in the summer for a different one, because I've had so many people tell me that either they're having finals or like there's college graduation and stuff like that.
Mother's Day for this weekend is the big one. Yeah.
My birthday, you know, that's super important. Everyone's gonna go to that. But no, yeah, like it's just TOs pour their heart into their events. Like there should be no question of that at this point. But I think just a lot of people still don't understand what it's like to be a TO or help with TOing. There's so much effort and like care put into even a 1-day event that gets lost. Like it's ridiculous. I being one myself it's kind of opened my eyes to like how thankless a job it is, especially for the people doing the most work. Like I'm more of a face than I am of like setting everything up. Like I kind of talk to people about the event.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And stuff. Then we have like the head TO like Titanium and then Nuge. Like Nuge, I don't think anyone knows who Nuge is. Like Nuge is
I've literally never heard that name before.
Nuge is as important as Titanium is to the running of this tournament. But you will, unless you have come to the tournament, you will probably never hear about him.
The hidden boss of TOs.
Yeah, like TOs do so much work. It's ridiculous. I have nothing but respect for TOs of giant tournaments. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't possibly do it myself. I know they don't do it
really hard.
Themselves, but just like shoutouts to TOs. You guys
shoutouts to TOs.
You're carrying the torch for something bigger than most people realize.
Shoutouts to TO as well. My Toronto boys.
Yeah, shoutouts to our boys. I'm kind of Toronto, not really. I'm like an hour away, but whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah. But
I think that's all we got.
Right.
Push more buttons.
Wrapping up here.
Seems like it. We're recording for about an hour now, so
Mm-hmm.
seems like a good time.
One last thing before we go. Did you like the sound of Tempest's voice in this video? I hope so, because we're starting a new system going on where it's going to be a set of rotating hosts.
Whoa.
That'd be sweet.
Where it's going to be me, Moto, and Tempest. Only 2 of us at a time, but we'll be rotating like so. For example...
Uh-oh.
Oh god, where is it? Oh no.
Nah,
I'm professional, I swear. It says next episode is going to be Moto and Tempest, so I'm going to be out.
Sorry, Flarp. See, we actually are not going to talk about you anymore after this.
All right.
Told you.
I'm just,
But you'll be back.
Live in a cave for the rest of my life. Yeah, I'll be back after that episode, and then I'll, eventually it'll be me and Tempest doing one.
Right.
And,
Yeah, we'll have the dynamic combos.
Yes, for sure.
It's a season 2 of the Nexuscast, if you will.
Yes, I get to be part of more stuff, and so hopefully people are going to enjoy that, because I certainly will. I like to talk. You haven't noticed by this point.
Tempest is cool. Yeah, that's about it for this episode.
That's about it. So,
thank you, Tempest and Wisely, for coming on.
Wisely, for especially a lot of insight on push more buttons. We appreciate that a ton.
Be on the lookout for that this weekend.
That's right.
At, what was it, Shinecore on
YouTube.com/Shinecore.
Mm-hmm. And if you are in the Midwest, we got some day of registration, and you should come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go.
It's 1 day notice, but go.
They are letting you come literally with no warning. You
just
take
show
that
up.
deal every time.
If you're listening to this in the car, make a detour, turn around.
Don't explain to your parents. Just tell them to turn around and enter in that address.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
All right.
That's been it. I'm Moto.
I'm Flarparoonie.
And I've been Tempest. I still am.
I'm still Wisely.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goodbye.